why don't we support Winter Nut Walk and we can donate? All right, bad idea. Just a thought.
Winter run.
Winter run.
Away.
There we go. You know what, you're right. There's a
Flag Day at
lot.
night.
Is that-
Thank you very much. You're going
Yes, it
live.
is. And it's me next to you with my arms
You're
crossed.
When the hell did I get gray hair?
I'll be downstairs if you need. Yeah, I just.
Oh,
well, have it.
Yeah, I know. My driver's license looks very different.
So, thank you. You're welcome.
And my passport photo is unrecognizable.
I just got my new passport
With a nice new picture?
with a new picture.
Good.
They're weird though. The new
They're not,
plastic.
you're right.
Plastic
Yeah, I just did mine too. And
Yeah.
it's like, first off, you just can't switch the photos.
see any coffee. What happened?
But you're helping.
Made noise,
Yes.
flashed, did everything except dispense coffee.
No water in the rest.
So Jan, we can.
Yeah, I thought we were
We'll start the show.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I put water.
Yes.
Okay.
Hello,
Hello everyone, thanks for coming today, happy Tuesday. This is the Hudson Development Corporation October Board Meeting, coming to order at noon. Thank you for your service to Hudson. So can I have a motion to approve the minutes from our September meeting?
I'll make that motion.
Paul first,
I'll
second,
second it.
second, Martha, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, hey Tom. Since our last meeting and our strategic planning work, we've continued our work on revising the remaining policy documents that the authority's budget office wants us to have in place. We did have a complete set of policy documents done, but some of you pointed out some with sharp shooter eyes and evaluation that some of them were more critical for larger organizations like ours, or for organizations that interface with money directly with the public, the city. So we asked them to revisit a few of them. Phil and I had a call on last Thursday with Julie Marshall, who's been working with us on them, and their attorney at Harris Beach in Albany. And we went through the documents with them, and they are in the process of reorganizing them a bit so that they suit us better. Some of them we didn't feel we really needed, but they pointed out that the ABO would like us to have them in the Paris system, or we open ourselves up to further investigation. So some of them don't really pertain in some ways. They could be much shorter. So they're gonna make them so that they're appropriate for an organization, local development organization of our size and staff size. And we should have those. They hope to have them today, but they didn't get them done. So we'll be looking at those in our November meeting. I'll send them around beforehand so you can review them, and then we'll vote on them in November. In late August and early September, I reached out to Andy Howard, the attorney for the city, to get a meeting with the mayor, the treasurer, and Tom in his offices to discuss our work on the Hudson Hub idea, to see if we could collaborate. Again, in late September, I spoke to Andy again about a meeting, and he told me that the meeting would not be happening. So we never did have that meeting. So I just want to put that out there, that we tried, but we didn't get that. Also, as you remember, at our September meeting, we voted to present the Hudson City School District board with the right of first refusal and a non-refundable check for $10,000. John put that forward to them maybe 3 weeks ago or a week after the meeting, and put it forward to Ginger Benedict, who's the attorney for the school board. And we waited to hear from her. We checked in a few times, and she did get back to John yesterday, so I'm gonna let him report on that. Also, this month, Nick, Paul, and I met with the new superintendent, Dr. Pennyman, in her offices at the school. We introduced ourselves and told her about the history of HDC and the kind of work that we've done in the past and what we were thinking about for the Hudson Hub, and how work that we had been doing since the beginning, since Tom brought the idea to Nick after our board meeting in April. She was very interested. She's very enthusiastic about anything to do with getting the school moved on. But she did make it very clear that it isn't within her purview to make that decision, that it's really within the Board of Education, the school board, to make that decision, and those protocols would be in place. She asked a couple of very good questions, and she, of course, is still getting her feet wet, and was nice enough to give us like half an hour to explain what we're thinking, and she appreciated it. So that was good. Let's see. I attended the October 1st school board meeting and I'll be attending the second one of October tonight, which is in the school. They elected a new board member. They voted to end a pre-K program, which was very controversial in the meeting. There's 2 pre-K programs, I guess. One is the early pre-K and then pre-K, and they're ending the early pre-K. So there were some teachers who spoke very passionately about not wanting that to happen, and how it's going to put some of the kids entering kindergarten at greater risk because they don't have the kind of patterning and early thinking work, and food, basically, also food, because they eat in the pre-K program. But they voted it down anyway. So members of the audience had a lot of questions about communication in the school district, how we can interface with them and get answers to some questions about kids in school. And they promised that they would get back to the board, that they'd get back to the public in some fashion. I don't know quite how they're gonna do that, but anyway. The highlight of the meeting was a junior reported on field day, and he gave a rousing report about how the juniors were against the seniors, and the juniors won, yay juniors, and the teachers pitched in, and Mr. almost broke his shoulder because he fell down, and it was very competitive, and the whole room came alive. So I vote that kid to be on the school board. He was great. Okay, so Paul and Jan have been working on the website, and I owe them, they gave me an archaeology kind of strategy thing to look at, which I have just begun to look at, but we are moving that along, which is good. Thank you both very much for that work. John Friedman's working on a pro forma for the Hudson Hub space. He's just begun that. I did have a conversation last week with Meredith Kane, who is a lead real estate attorney in the New York City law firm, Paul Weiss Rifkin. She is very enthusiastic about this idea. She's putting her thinking cap on about how she might help us in both the pro forma aspect of it, and also in the structure, the financing and structuring of a purchase deal. So she's just begun thinking about that on Friday. So maybe sometime this week we'll be getting some feedback from her. I have been working on HDC support for Winter Walk and with Michael Hoffman for the city. He's doing the city piece of it, and Tammy and Sage Carter are doing the performance events, acts, and other aspects. So I've been working on the food aspect, and I have reached out to most restaurants to see if, except for you want to do it. No, later. Yeah. But it's working great. I mean, it isn't all on Hudson Hall now, and everybody's sort of leaning into it. So I think it's going to be a very good event, as always is. I've begun talking to some people about the executive director position, making connections to how those things work. And I think our strategic thinking really clarified a lot more about how much work the board can do and how much work we need an executive director to be doing and what that position looks like. So that's a big piece of the agenda in my head every day. Finally, we have some matters to discuss on the Hudson Hub that are financial nature. So I'm going to suggest that Phil give his usual treasurer's report, and also there's a secondary report, a projected budget for next year. And I'll let him take that part of the show. And then after that, I think we're going to go into executive session to discuss the financial piece of the Hudson Hub. So, Phil?
Sure. Tom, do you need a paper copy?
No, what you sent.
You're good. Oh, terrific. Thank you.
He's digital.
Thanks very much. What I passed out is 3 pages. The second 2 are what we present every month in terms of income statement and balance sheet. I want you guys to just focus on the first page, the right-hand column, which is a proposed proposed is fine, 2024 budget. The reason that this is important is we have to submit to Paris as part of the sort of ABO control systems that we're obligated to report into. They ask for a 3-year projection. I talked to both our legal advisor as well as UHY. What people typically do is what we're going to be doing now, which is they do a 2024 budget, present that to the board for approval, that's prepared in the same format and the same taxonomy that we're all used to. Paris is a different world. It doesn't translate in any literal sense. What we would do then is take the 2024 budget as approved by this board, map it against the Paris taxonomy, and then complete the projection, which is typically what folks do is they do a base year and then project out at 5% increments. It's not binding in any sense, but it's an obligation that has to be completed by the end of the month. That'll work then if we can get approval today on the 2024 budget, which is the right-hand column of the first page that I distributed. I'll then sit with Sue and UHY. We'll do the mapping for the Paris report. It does not require board approval because it's based on an approved budget. It's just different taxonomy, and that will get signed off by the chairman and myself and get delivered to Paris. So if I can bring your attention to the 2024 budget, which is the right-hand column on the first page that I distributed. The finance committee met last week. So that's John and Martha. And if you guys want to make any comments on our discussion or on the budget we prepared.
There's nothing really earth shattering in it.
Thank you, John. Martha?
Nothing.
Okay. If there are no questions or comments, you guys can reach me anytime, phone, mail, or text. If you want to question something or you want further information. As I said, the Paris report is due the end of this month. We have time to complete the mapping. Susan is very comfortable working with Nicole at UHY to complete that, which is pretty much what we've done every year for the past X number of years. Then I'm asking for a motion to approve the monthly statement, income and balance, and the projected 2024.
I'll make that motion.
Paul, thank you very much.
Second?
Thank you very much. Is there a second?
You just got
Done.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed?
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you,
This
Phil.
makes life so much
Thank you,
easier,
Finance Committee.
so much easier for Phil.
So much easier. Okay, and is there anything you want to take us through in the October 19th statement of activity? Anything outstanding or?
No, there are no significant changes. One thing that we should be proud of, I think on the 2024 projection is our financial folks advise we should be hitting 90 grand in income next year. I would like to believe we can do better than that, but it's good to know that our expenses will be covered going forward.
Yes, that's good. Thank you. Okay, so that is the treasurer's report in complete and total finished? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So with that said, I'm gonna take a motion to go into executive session. Sorry. Brazil. Have a motion to go into executive session.
I'll make that motion.
Paul, a second. John Friedman, all in favor?